dehydration, headache. Not that that will affect us today. It's drama time. Hi, ballers and a bro fist to you all. This fine, hot, refreshing, not really, Friday afternoon where we have completed all our junk and stuff for the week. All done. Done and dusted. We can chill. It's finally time to crack open that. That feels good. It feels good. It's the little things that count, like the McRib. Oh, what? You have the little cheese bites, McDonald's? You, sir, are a scholar. You are a gentleman and a scholar, Mr. McDonald. I'm a fan of you, Ronald. And then you took it away, you bastard. You bastard, you took it away from me. It's Friday, it's drama time. There is no live web show tomorrow, but I might be streaming some Final Fantasy VII. I kind of need a break, because today I finished Gears of War 1. Little mention of this before we get into the drama, because it's my own personal drama. I was promised by you, the audience, you people right there, certain things with Gears of War. 1, it's a good game. 2, it's got a good story. 3, it's really fun. No, you lie. Why did you do this to me? Why did you do that? It's not funny. It's not funny. What a fucking horrific game. So fucking bad. Oh my god. Worst last boss ever in any game. You think Raiden was bad? Do you? Do you think they were bad bosses? Do you really? Because you clearly never fought. Is he called Ram? Or Rak? Or some shit? Who gives a fuck? I don't know his name. What a retard boss. It's horrible. Jesus Christ. Have mercy on my soul for getting rid of that. Oh my god. Painful to say the least. So yeah, I got ghosted. I did get ghosted. What a horrible game. I'm still going to try 2. I'm a glutton for punishment, baby. Bring it on. Because 2 is apparently better if I believe you guys. So we might be streaming some Final Fantasy VII tomorrow for a nice relaxing Saturday, depending on how hot it is. Realistically, how hot it is in this room, I'm not going to sit in here if it's boiling. I'm not doing it. I've done it all week. Not going to do it. But onwards, it's drama time. Drama time is really easy for all the new people joining our channel. It's really easy. All the time playing World of Warcraft or any other MMO, we run into people. That's kind of one of the big drawbacks, is that we run into all different kinds of people. When you've got like 11 million, 9 million people playing a game, or whatever number we're down to now, according to the theorists, probably 500,000. We run into all kinds of people doing all sorts of crazy things. Different walks of life, different cultures, all these different religions, different ways of thinking just suddenly appear in front of us in the style of an orc, or a troll, or a human, or a Draenei, God forbid. And they do crazy things, or we do crazy things. We do nasty things sometimes, and sometimes a drama starts. Might even be your first time dealing with a drama involving another person from the safety of the computer, right? We've got the safety net. Write me a story. Tell us what happened. Was it interesting? Was it funny? Did it end well? And if you did something bad, it's kind of nice to get it off your chest. And that leads us into our first story. I like it when people want to get something horrible off their chest. I did it. Kind of like a redemption thing, right? I did story time where I told all the horrible things I've done in World of Warcraft to other people. Felt good. Felt really good to get it out there and sort of say, yeah, I was a dick. This is what I did. And hopefully so people don't go ahead and make those mistakes again. But of course people will. Of course they will. So our first story is from something that we know a little bit more about this week, and that is the Rogue. That is the Rogue. We did a wonderful video called The Legacy of the Rogue, looking back over the class and its history. But one thing we didn't really talk about is the people who play rogues, because that would be a generalization. So let me just generalize for you now. People who play rogues, especially in vanilla, total dickheads. Total fucking dickheads. The rogues who played in vanilla are in fact the most loot-hungry, evil, selfish bastards I have ever come to know. They were horrible people. They were Mr. Genji, wherever you are. And they were generally just nightmares, right? I've never seen some people be so absurdly upset when things didn't go their way as the rogues. Look at all these guys. I was a rogue. I was totally a rogue. I was totally a rogue. And then the rogues, of course, blame the hunters, and the hunters blame the rogues. And Hunter rhymes with Huntard, so I'm technically winning. I don't have my notepad open. Our first story is about the Molten Core loot whore, and he is a rogue. What could a rogue desperately need from Molten Core? What could a rogue desperately want? And what would he do to ensure that he gets it? How far will our classic vanilla rogue go to ensure he gets what he wants? Sulfurous, good answer. Well done, Ali. You're playing the game correctly. You're playing the game correctly. Who have we got here? Oh, we've got a Huntard. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and call that guy Keith. A rogue class leader. Unfortunate rogue 1, 2, and 3. 3 rogue. Oh, we've got 4 rogues technically. 1, 2, and 3. So I need a lot of rogues. I need some rogues. Oh, these rogues. Gonna have a bad time, rogues. You're gonna have a bad time. So we'll have Rogue Storm. Oh, you can be the class leader, Rogue Storm. Rogue Storm definitely rocking it. We'll have Nick, McNurs, the Law Master, to which we are attributing a lot of stuff, and Odious Rex. I'm just going to call you Odious for the sake of making my life a little bit easier, but it is you, Odious Rex, don't you worry. So we're going to be taking our minds back to vanilla, which you should all be fresh with, of how rogues behaved then and all the things they had to do. You should all be up to date, and if you're not, go and watch the video. It's pretty good. Chapter 1, an origin story. Let's always remember when we write our drama stories, origin stories don't need to be very long. We kind of understand that you played WoW. We don't need a huge history. I started playing WoW a few weeks after the game was released, an early bird. A friend called Keith, a hunter, showed it to me and some classmates at a LAN party, and needless to say, we fell in love. The game looked amazing. The world seemed infinite, and your character changed as you played, getting cooler the further into the game you got. We had to be a part of it. We all went out and bought it immediately and rushed back to our LAN to start the adventure. As my friend had already been playing for about a week and had managed to get to the astonishing level of 25, we thought he knew everything there was to know, and we accepted his word as scripture. Don't worry, it turned out okay. Yeah, a little bit dangerous, isn't it, when you don't really understand a game, and then you come up to the, well, I'll have you know I've been level 25, and therefore I know everything about this game. He made recommendations as to what we should play. For the most part, we listened. Most of my friends followed this advice. this glorious master, this complete Adonis of man, and created orcs, stun resist. Oh yeah. We had a hunter, a warrior, and a warlock. Oh, orc warlocks, man. There was nothing worse than the conversation between me and Mr. Sparko as to when method was changing to horde, as to whether we're going to be male or female orcs. That conversation. What are we going to do here? Are we going to go male or are we going to go female? And it's like picking, what do you want to have stabbed into your genitals? Would you like a knife or razor blades? Which one would you prefer? Because, you know, that's kind of the choice you've got to make. That's kind of the choice you've got to make sometimes. However, I didn't want to be an orc, and I didn't give a shit about stuns. What the fuck is a stun anyway? I can't be tamed, he said, and rolled a troll male rogue. I'm not rolling an orc, that's stupid. I'm going to roll a troll. Yeah. And the last of our little group rolled a Tauran shaman. We had our instance group, and it turned out we didn't run a single fucking instance together because none of us kept the same pace of leveling, and it was each man for himself until we were all level 60. But it was a good plan in theory. Damn right! When you roll with friends, Ghost is the worst for this. Ghost is the worst for this. Ghost cannot not play a game that he's just got, right? Doesn't matter what it is, he has to play it. So we got things like Borderlands 2, which some of you may have picked up in the Steam sale yesterday. He got Borderlands 2, I had Borderlands 2. We'll play it together, we said. It'll be fine, we said. Yeah. Ghost can't not play. One thing he doesn't realise, of course, is that I can see what he's doing on Steam. Yeah, and I'm like, so you're not playing Borderlands? Oh, I'm just checking it's working. 3 hours later. Still checking it's working. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then he says this ultimate question. And hey, I imagine all of you have heard this from your friends. It's alright. I'll make a new character that I'll play just with you. That's what I'll do. It's fine. It's fine that I've played loads more and it won't be as interesting to me the second time round. I'll make a new character that will just be for like me and you, right? We'll roll alts together. It'll be fine, right? And then you do that, and he's like, yeah, I did all this shit, and just fucking walks through it. I'm like, dude, that was really cool. He's like, yeah, I saw it yesterday. You piece of shit. I hate that guy, man. It took me about 2 months to get level 60, because I was shit. By that time, Keith had been capped for a while and joined a guild that was going to raid Molten Core. As I was still useless at my class and hadn't learnt nothing while leveling except for how to gank people doing it right. Are you with me, vanilla rogues? Bones me. Right there, rogues. Right there. What do? I just kill everybody. I don't know how to explain it, but I play this class and I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know that I can be invisible and then I cheap shot people and they die. It's pretty amazing, I've got to say. I could just, after I've cheap shot people, I can just randomly smash the keyboard and people die. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty fucking awesome. They didn't want me in their guild. Aww. I'm with you, Juro. I'm with you on that one. I wasn't bothered and proceeded to find my own guild. It didn't go well. Every time I applied to one, they told me to run a 5-man instance with some of the officers to see if I was any good. Bastard. Got tested. Seeing as I played combat daggers, used sinister strike over backstab. Oh, the good old days. I loved them combat envenoming rogues. They were the best. They were the best. Envenom's new. It must be better, right? Sinister strike, envenom. I'm not doing any damage. Really? It's so weird. It's so weird. I didn't use any poisons and had absolutely shit gear. They were not impressed. Distraught, I asked my friend Keith what to do. He promptly linked me to the Blizzard Rogue forums, where I learned the basics of how to play my class. Didn't take long. So let's fast forward a couple of weeks and I managed to get invited to a raiding guild and was heading into the Molten Core. My friend by now had half the instance cleared. Did anybody not? I don't know, any vanilla guys, did you ever not clear Molten Core? Because it's really sad if you did. Oh, dude, what? We killed Gar. Did you? Wow. You mean you managed to pull the boss without wiping? That's incredible. I'm so happy for you. So fucking happy for you. So fucking happy for you. He cleared half the instance and assured me that it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that hard. Chapter 2. Noticing a pattern. Being the loot whore that I was, I quickly noticed a couple of things when he got into his first raid, our rogue. Noticed a couple of things. I noticed that there were a lot of other people in my raids that wanted the same items that I did. Wait a minute. Not to mention my set pieces. Not set pieces. My set pieces. Notice the word my. There are people in this raid who want my gear. This is not happening. I don't understand what's happening here. You want my set pieces. I don't think you understand that they're mine, so I don't see why you would want them. That seems like a douchey thing to do, if I'm being honest. Not to mention my set pieces that I would have to compete against 5 other rogues for. And the fact that boss drops at best were few and far between, something had to be done. Thinking like a rogue. I had to somehow gain an edge. I decided to befriend the rogue class leader, who was Rogue Storm. Rogue Storm! Seeing as we were the only 2 of the same nationality, it wasn't that hard. Now, I'm going to tell you our nationality because that will only fuel the prejudice surrounding my people in the chat. I'm not going to tell you. He won't tell us. Swedish as fuck. Oh, you're so Swedish and you know it. So everybody knows. Why keep it a secret? Look at the chat. Oh, dude, you shouldn't have put that in brackets because I'm bound to read it. I'm like Ron Burgundy, you know. I'm like Ron Burgundy. Feeling quite comfortable, I bided my time. My first opportunity came one time when we killed Gar and the bindings of the Windseeker dropped. I saw the opportunity. Now, some of you might be thinking you saw the opportunity to try and win an item. It's not quite what happened. Our devious rogue friend, our evil devious rogue friend, saw an opportunity to get rid of some competition. Now you might be thinking, I can see the way your mind's working. First, you think he wants the binding. Well, no, he doesn't. He sees an opportunity to get rid of the competition. So now you're thinking he's going to try and get rid of people's DKP, right? That must be the next logical course. You would be wrong again. You'll be wrong again. One of my fellow rogues, Nick, was a considerably younger, like 10 or 11 kid from Dutchland. Okay, he's from the Dutch. So we've got an 11-year-old rogue from Dutch. Okay, he's Dutchy. 11-year-old Dutchy. Swede Dutchy, hey? Just saying, just saying. Naturally, he, like everyone else, lost his shit when he saw the drops. I then linked him Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, and casually informed him that that's what you get from that item. And that you, Nick, are the highest on DKP on the rogues. He freaked out. He was so happy, he started screaming on Ventrilo. Remember, 10 or 11 years old. 10 or 11-year-old lad screaming on Ventrilo. About how he had the most DKP. About how he hadn't missed a raid. And had been there from the very start of the guild. He was so excited. He whispered the master looting officer endlessly. Naturally, that was the last we saw of Lil Nick, since they kicked him from the raid and the guild for being an annoying little shit and bidding on our main tank's loot. Success. That is the most horrific thing I've ever heard of. He's 10 years old. Hey, did you know that you can get that? I can? Yeah, you've got the most DKP. Oh my god! This is so good. Oh man. And in chapter 3, welcome to the real world. An inside man. A while later, my guild was heading into the Molten Core yet again. Our goal for the raid was to down Golemag and Major Domo for the first time and finally test our might against Ragnaros. Only one other guild had killed him on the Horde side, the one Keith was in. As the raid progressed, I was chatting to this friend Keith, and he told me that one of the rogues in my guild had applied to join his guild. I didn't really give a fuck since I was just happy to see him go. As the raid progressed, it went well, and we ended up killing Golemag the Incinerator and headed up to Major Domo. 100% guaranteed on your first kill of Golemag the Incinerator, all the rogues were dead. 100%! All the rogues were dead. And any of you who ever did that fight for progression will know why. All the rogues were dead. And headed up to Major Domo. You know what's about to drop? You guessed it. The Core Hound Tooth. The only problem was that another rogue had more DKP than me at the time and was also assassination spec. Before our encounter with Major Domo started, I told Rogue Storm about our fellow's application to another guild, thinking that he would surely be kicked. Oh shit, Core Houndtooth might drop. Rogue Storm, did you know that he's going to leave the guild? Did you know that? And he's got all the DKP. You wouldn't want to give him loot now, would you? You wouldn't want to go and do that, Rogue Storm. That would be stupid. I love this shit. But Rogue Storm had other plans. He explained that we should at least keep him around until the raid was over. Rogues working as a team is the most terrifying experience you can have in a raid. 2 vanilla rogues. That's a recipe for fucking disaster. That is a recipe for your shit to get all goofed up. Your shit's got... Hey, you should kick this guy. He's applied to another guild. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not going to give him any loot, even though he's earned it. We'll just keep him here to kill the boss, and then we'll kick him. Oh, love it! Love it! Since Major Domo is piss easy, he went down and the loot was linked. McNurs, our rogue, was very happy to see the Core Hound Tooth. And when it came time for bidding, he of course threw in every single last dime of his DKP. As he obviously wouldn't need it anymore. because he was going to leave and surely planning to take the item over to his new guild. He won it. What he didn't plan on was that Roguestorm knew about his application, nor that he had told the other officers, and most definitely that they did not intend to give him shit right before he was leaving the guild, because he was, just not in the manner he had planned. The Master Looter sent the dagger to me, claimed he had misclicked. We've all been there, where somebody gets the item that you won via misclick, and that person just so happens to be a friend of the Loot Master. Right? We've all fucking been there. Oh, your girlfriend's the Loot Master? Your girlfriend's the Loot Master. Have you ever noticed that she keeps misclicking things towards you? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? So weird. Oh, this is the best one though. Sorry, I misclicked. We'll sort it out after the raid. Alright? Definitely. Logs off. Oh, come on. We'll sort it out after the raid. No point in stopping this kind of progress. We've got Golem Egg down. We've got Major Domo down. It's rag time. Come. We'll sort it out later. No big deal. Right, guys? It's no big deal. I love it. So much classic shit. I love it. As soon as the raid was called later that night, after some impressive tries to down Raggy, McNurs was swiftly kicked from the guild, given no explanation whatsoever. As it turned out, he did not even get accepted into the other guild, because best of all was that I didn't even have to pay DKP for the brand new dagger. Oh yeah! Kicked, no new invite, and we didn't even pay DKP for the best dagger in the game. Hey! Doing it right. Rogue style, baby. Rogue style, because it was a misclick. I didn't even bid on it. Can you imagine that's what you would play? A true rogue knew what was happening, but a true rogue, when asked later, is like, yeah, well, of course you were going to bid on the dagger. That's why you brought it up. And you'd be like, no, I wasn't going to bid on it. I'm not paying DKP for this. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for this dagger. It's like, yeah, it's the best dagger in the game. Not my problem. Not my problem. If you want, why don't you go through the whole GM process and I'll pass it to someone else? You're using the dagger every raid. Well, I've got it now. Might as well use it. I've got it now. We never saw him again after that. Chapter 4. A not so fond farewell. Since melee DPS was not really desired for Raggy, my guild didn't recruit any new rogues, and that left me, Roguestorm, a Danish badass that the class leader and I had gotten quite close to, and a 12-year-old poor guy, who I assume is Odious. 12, rogue, vanilla, doing it right. By this time in my story, we killed Raggy, as only the second Horde guild to do so on our server, and it was about to do it again the following week. I found myself in the unusual position of being tied for DKP with another rogue. I had hoped something would drop for him to waste some of his DKP on, while I was saving mine for Raggy. And that dagger. But it turned out not a single rogue item dropped. And as we were running, there's a weird thing that used to happen with DKP whores. One of the reasons it doesn't get used anymore is people would be desperately hoping that loot would drop for other people so they could fuck them over. Did anybody get in a DKP war with somebody where two people who didn't want an item would keep outbidding each other? I've seen it happen so many times. Two people don't even want the item, keep outbidding each other to fuck over the other guy. Just to screw over the other guy. So bizarre. Someone's going to get fucked and it ain't me. And it just ends up with one of them having no DKP left. I was saving mine for Raggy and that dagger. But it turned out not a single rogue item dropped as we were running back through the instance. After having killed Major Domo, Odious whispered me. It went something like this. Him. Okay, doing the kid voice. Hey, we got the same dagger. Oh, we got the same DKP. Yeah. Do you want the dagger? Yeah. Okay, what do we do? Well, I suppose we'll have to roll for it, if it drops. Okay. And that's how the conversation went. Mr. 12-year-old was well aware of the DKP system. He's well aware, but our rogue isn't happy. A whole raid, no rogue loot? This isn't working out better. This isn't working out. After making short work of Raggy, the loot was linked. The dagger had dropped. I saw him type in our rogue channel about how we have come to an agreement. about rolling for it. And I get a hunch this kid is probably waiting for our class leader, Roguestorm, to tell us to roll for it. Or for our Roguestorm to tell the Master Looter that we are rolling for it. When the dagger is linked, and the announcement to start bidding comes, I whisper the Master Looter and promptly, without competition, receive it for the cheapest price. You want to roll for it when it comes out? Yeah, man, we'll just roll on the iron. Alright. Definitely going to do that. Can I tell you a true story about somebody else who made a lot of agreements with fellow paladins during Blackwing Lair to attain a certain tier set? Mr. Ghost. You would be surprised, or perhaps not surprised, how quickly Mr. Ghost attained most of that judgment armor very quickly. Very, very quickly. He used to tell me about his agreements. He used to tell, oh, I've made agreements with people, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, pure odious, you got shit on. Yes! Hash winning, he says. Needless to say that Odious lost his 12-year-old shit. Whispering me, brackets, in caps, oh no, that's in caps lock, cursing me and demanding an explanation. Our guild didn't tolerate unnecessary shit on Ventrilo during raids after what had happened with the bidding earlier. I answered simply that I thought he was going to bid on it as well, and when we both bid the same amount, we were going to roll. Did I misunderstand the agreement? No, dude. That... Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I thought something totally different. I did. I thought it was... I thought... I'm really sorry, dude. He was not amused when he found out that neither our class leader or any officers gave the slightest bit of shit about what I had done. He left the guild. You got rid of 3 rogues. 3 rogues. When that happened, his IRL friend also lost his shit and started screaming at me. All the officers are my class leader, resulting in my class leader kicking him the fuck out of our guild. 4 people down. 4 people down. 4 people down. This concludes my story for today. But rest assured that this behaviour did not stop. If any of you are wondering whether he became a nicer person, he didn't. It's okay, guys, he didn't. Seeing as we were now only 3 rogues left, we 3 are still friends to this day, by the way, because you know the code of rogues. You understood the code. We simply shifted our clever use of in-game mechanics towards other classes. We've got rid of all the rogues, so we got rid of all the rogues. Let's just go and fuck over everybody else. Deal. Total deal. I hope you like my story, so I might tell you more of it someday, since I continue to raid for the next 2 expansions. You probably guessed it. I'm Swedish. Doing it right. Doing it right, my friend. Doing it right. Totally Swedish. Swedish as fuck. I love it. I fucking love it. Right. Oh, which one to do? Which one to do? I have 2 girls, 1 drama. I'm going to do the Great Noob Purge. I think it's kind of fitting the other story. Yeah, great story. That was an awesome story. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was a great story. Our next story is called The Great Noob Purge. The Great Noob Purge. Now, I have been through a noob purge. In fact, I have conducted a noob purge before. Noob purges, classically, and some of you probably won't know this, a noob purge is when you literally kick everybody when they need attunements. Attunements did lead to the old noob purge, because your A team that killed the boss and you want to progress to other content also means there are definitely members of the B team that you might need, and then you have to go back and kill the attunement boss for the B team in order to get them attuned. Unfortunately, B team is B team for a reason, and when they don't perform, we have the Great Noob Purge, where we kick all of them, and I have done this. I have done this. So we've got a fellow guildie. Yep, BT attunement. If you know what I'm talking about, BT attunement. Kael'thas Sunstrider. Some people aren't going to be able to do Kael'thas Sunstrider. You are getting kicked, my friends. You are getting kicked. We've got a fellow guild and a newbie shaman. Oh, Zoranta. That's a lovely name, Zoranta. I like that, Zoranta. And our newbie shaman, Mantuka. Yeah, I need to be the noob, says Mantuka. I want to be the newbie shaman. I want to be it. Sadly, no worries he's here today. I would love to label him the newbie shaman. Hello, Preacher, and all the lovely viewers out there. I've been watching your content for a while now and especially enjoy Drama Friday. So I thought I'd share with you a story of a recent drama I encountered. So we're up to date. We're random. Ooh, good, good, good. First, the random LFD, or dat random LFD. This story happens during the Mists of Pandaria. I play a human holy paladin. Hopefully you are a male as well. Human male holy paladin, best animation in the game. Best animation in the game, next to undead casters. Awesome. In a decent guild at the time of this story, oh, so you're not in a decent guild anymore, me and my guild were progressing through the heroic content of Tier 14. At one point, a fellow guildie of mine named Zoranta had dinged level 90 on his Warlock alt. And to help him gear faster, I joined him to bump the LFD queues as a healer and blast through the trivial dungeons. Our story begins during one of those runs, though. The Gates of the Setting Sun. I should note that me and my guildie were using our guild's TeamSpeak server to talk and have fun while we were doing dungeons. In Mists of Pandaria, stop having fun, bro. Pack it in. The group we joined seemed decent, except for one member. A Pandaren, of course, enhancement shaman, named Mantuka. Mantuka, enhancement shaman, oh god. During the trash in the first boss, he did an abysmal amount of DPS. It's his class. You can't help it. You can't help it. With me as a holy paladin beating him on the meter with basic denounce spam. He also studied everything that could possibly kill him. Halfway towards the second boss, not seeing any improvement, I inspected him to see he is wearing a mix of leveling greens, 450 blues, and 2 pieces of PvP gear. That seems pretty normal to me. Only half of it was elemental and resto gear, and also mostly leather. Oh. How's that leather resto gear working out for you? To top it all off, he was only using one-hander of green quality. Enhancement shaman. I'm sorry to tell everybody this, but this is a typical enhancement shaman. This is what happens. This is how they all do it now. So they have an excuse for being enhancement shamans. That's what it is. Albeit suspicious of his intellect at this point. I'm suspicious of your intellect. That is so politically correct way of saying you dumb motherfucker. You dumb motherfucker. I am suspicious of your intellect. Your body mass index is not above average. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I thought, no sweat. This guy's probably new to the game and he probably forgot to put his proper set on. That's what it is. It's fine. So after laughing at him over TeamSpeak with Zoranta, let me move your name closer. That would make more sense. Let's put you there. Ooh, oh, delicious. Let's put you there. After laughing at him with Zoranta, I typed in and said, "Hey, Muntaka, you don't have your second weapon equipped, brah. And check your gear, cause half of it's resto." Oh, that whisper. Oh, Zoranla. I apologise. I do apologise. Zoranla. It's an even better name. Well done. His reply was not that friendly. I need a voice for Zoranla. "Shut up!" was what came back to me in the instance chat. And after inspecting him again, I saw no changes to his gear set. By this point, I figured we are dealing with a proper noob. The drama began after I painstakingly tried to keep him alive during the second boss, but failed due to him standing more in the fire than out of it. After the boss was dead, the DPS caster trinket dropped. This is what always happens, man. Zoranla was proper glad. Himself still having a green trinket equipped. He rolled in it, but to our astonishment, we saw that the enhancement shaman Mantuka claimed that item. Every time, man. I have lost some items to some fucking people in my time. You bastards. You know who you are. You know who you are. I have lost, especially druids. Is there anything a druid can't roll on? Is there anything a druid can't roll on? Oh, it's loot. Druid loot. Druid loot. Druid's the new hunters. Zoranla was a proper English gentleman and typed in chat, "Oh, don't be a bellend." Followed by me saying, "Why did you need that trinket?" The reply was once again snappy. "It better for me. Fuck off." Now me and Zoranla were known for our ability to be arseholes to people who deserved it. Hell of a thing to be known for, right? And at this point we had it. On TeamSpeak we decided that I should stop healing our shabby friend and see how many times we can get him to die. All the while making snidey remarks on his failings such as, "That new trinket sure kept you alive there." We got to the point where I went out of my way not using AoE heals during the next trash and boss. And Zoranla, using his combat res to res Muntaka. You were resing him as well. Muntaka after he had died, but inside the acid pool. Oh, you resed him inside acid pools? You bastards. That's harsh as shit. I am purposely combat resing you in acid. I'm smiling and smiling as I do it. Smiling and smiling as I do it. Oh yeah, I'll combat res you, brah. Just to have him die right away from the boss's ability. The boss finally died, and after needing the leather loot from the boss, Mantuka started to rant in the chat saying, "I was bad hiller, and that I should L2P. You, my friend, are bad hiller, and you should L2P. Mantuka has spoken. Very bad hiller, very, very bad hiller. Hate you, hiller. L2P. At that point, the tank of the group, who was for no further relevance to this story, pointed out that I was in proper, normal, heroic raid gear and that I was healing the rest just fine, so Mantuka should just go ahead and shut the fuck up. Why don't you go ahead and shut the fuck up? Oh, okay. I replied with a simple, "Give the trinket to Zoranla and I'll start healing you again, okay?" We pulled the final boss, and miraculously, Mantuka stayed alive. To test Mantuka's ninjaing tendencies, I decided on the caster shield that had dropped. And once again, Mantuka won it. You can't win, can you? No matter what you do, these guys are going to take your loot. And they're going to win it. Why try? Just give up. You might as well. I do. I just give up. If I've got one of these guys in my group, I just give the fuck up. You're never going to beat them. You're never going to win. They have roll hacks, I'm telling you. He also took the second leather item that dropped today because we had no leather users in the group. I decided to call Mantuka out on his ninjaing. Stop needing items you don't need. His reply was, "It's gear I can use." I was done with this guy and said, "Here." Oh God, you declared. "Here is the prime example of an eBay player. Either L2P or go back to playing RuneScape and stop ruining the game for the rest of the other players." And then I left the group. But it did not end there. Chapter 2. Bring it on, bitch. Just after the dungeon was finished, I received a whisper from Mantuka, as he was from the same server as me. Now at this point I should tell you that I am from Holland. Look at you all judging. Y'all be judging. Y'all judging people. Holland. And my in-game name represents that heritage. Mantuka apparently came from the same country. Or probably Belgium. Why probably Belgium? Can any Dutchie tell me that? A noob like this can't possibly come from Holland. Probably Belgium. Am I right, Dutchies? You know what I mean, don't you? You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying. Belgium's a cool... I agree. I've been to Belgium several times. I fucking love Belgium. It's awesome. He started yelling at me in Dutch. For your sake and entertainment, I shall give you the translation of this conversation. Mantuka said, "Hey, you asshole. The fuck are you trying to start?" At which I replied, "Just go back to playing RuneScape, boy. This game is a bit hard for your little brain, and if you can't understand basic dungeon mechanics and loot... At that point came the most awesome reply in my WoW history. Mantuka said, in one violent shatter, "Shut up, you fucker! Come and duel me, and we'll see who is better." He's throwing down. Fucker's throwing down. He's throwing down, man. He's throwing down his one little green axe. Had enough. Had enough of your shit. Had a fucking enough of your shit. Throwing down. Let's go. Let's do this. Followed with, "I'll beat you in 5 hits, motherfucker." And more silly trash talk. Oh. I am literally sweating with excitement. I was translating this conversation to Zarandla over TeamSpeak, and while we were both laughing our asses off, Zarandla said, "Do it, take the challenge." So I did. Enhancement Shaman, 1 green axe versus Holy Paladin in normal and heroic gear. What say you to our friend Mantuka's odds on that? So I whispered back to Mantuka, "Fine, meet me outside of Stormwind." A few minutes later, we did indeed meet outside. Zarandla was trying to hype up our fight by telling the people around Stormwind about it with slash yell. So childish. Fight! Fight! There's gonna be a fight! It's out behind the school. It's behind the school shed in 10 minutes, guys. Fight! We're gonna fight! You know what I mean? We're doing it after last period. Fight after last period, guys. Everybody out there, we're gonna do it. Fight in the park. Oh, in the park? Anything could happen if it's in the park. That's like the Hell in the Cell, right? In school days. School fields, kind of like one-on-one, can handle that. But if it's in the park, that's Hell in the Cell, man. Inferno match shit. That's fucking dangerous. Bull rope match. Cowbell or a bull rope match. He also decided to narrate the duel while we were fighting in slash yell. I imagine that was quite funny. Zarandla, you're a fucking you're the man. You're the Don King. You're the Don King of Stormwind street fighting. I like it. Our duel started. I was in holy spec, so I beaconed myself, stacked a mastery shield, and started denounce spamming Mantuka. Mantuka popped his cooldowns. Ascendance. After a second or two, which I responded with a nice fist of justice. Mantuka was unable to process this, as he stood stunned for most of the duration of his cooldowns. Ascendance! Come on, man. Come on, man. This ain't funny. Mantuka. Well, I created some distance between us and started typing trollololololololol in slash S. He came at me again, but a combination of stuns and the speed of light talent made it so he wasn't even able to break my mastery shield by the time he was at low health. After all, he was keyboarding towards me all the time, and he didn't try to self-heal, he just kept trying to catch me while I ran around wholly shocking him to death. The crowd by this moment was laughing at Mantuka, and soon I won the duel. Actually, troll mode is super effective. Chapter 3, Round 2, Fight. Mantuka would not take defeat graciously, and stated in slash S that I was a pussy and cheater for dueling as a healer, and that real men, real Dutch men, face each other as DPS. A man does not fight as a healer. I simply responded with switching to my Rectory off spec and requesting a duel again. My DPS gear was not great, mostly blues and some epics. I had won as off spec loot from our raids, but against Mantuka, no problem. I popped Wings and Holy Avenger. Oh shit. Nothing worse, is there? I popped Wings and Holy Avenger, stunned him again and had him down to low health in barely 30 seconds. I wasn't keen on finishing him though. Like with me as Holy, I started kiting him, self-healing when he did get a hit on me and continuing typing, "You mad bro." I can't imagine how upset this guy was. Can you even, just for a moment, put yourself in old Mantuka's shoes, right? You mad bro, while he's probably trying his absolute hardest in the world. Absolute hardest in the world. You've got to feel for the guy, man. You got to feel for the guy. while running around in circles. By now, half of the city had come to see the duel. I don't think so. Curious by the slash yells they heard, and why we had gotten quite the audience, I continued to embarrass Mantuka. I finally decided to end it. I popped my cooldowns again and zerged him into the ground. That Rep Paladin burst. Once the message played that I had beaten Mantuka in a duel, I typed /bow and turned away like a man from an explosion. Mantuka's character then disappeared from the world as he probably Alt F4'd in rage. During the next few hours, I tried checking /who to see if Mantuka was online, but I never found him. And when I looked him up on the Armory the next day, I saw he had transferred servers. Oh, oh no. So now, you might think that's over. No. So now, whenever I am bored, I continue to troll him by getting my level 20 character, which I made on his new server, and using my main's mammoth mount to annoy him. I am still waiting for the day he quits. Dude, not cool. That isn't cool. That's not cool. No. Leave Brittany. It's cyberbullying. You're cyberbullying. Mantuka. He's dodgy. He's a club partner. He's a partner in the club. You're cyberbullying. That's what you're doing. You're cyberbullying. Wow. Why? Why are you cyberbullying, bro? Cyberbullying. Jesus. Cyberbullying. Oh my God. How dare you? Oh, right. What time?